Hi guys, and welcome back to Viva la Resistance, our Star Wars Resistance recap show right here on Dedicated to Art, the show that does have a host. In this case, it is me, Kees Cornelissen, as usual, joined as usual by Chris Doman and Nico Rogoli to review an episode that disappeared that takes place kind of during at least the beginning of The Force Awakens. I'm not entirely sure. But we are definitely gearing up towards something. I think another great episode in where Kaz and Torra actually spent more time together, which we've been waiting for, of course. The Disappeared. The title says it. People are disappearing because the First Order doesn't like people who speak out against them, and they just make them disappear. And it just makes that First Order seem all the more threatening, which we've been already seeing. But it's getting worse and worse all the time. And, we'll talk about the ending in a bit, I assume. Guys, what did we think about this episode? Initial thoughts, Chris?
Well, I can safely say now I can finally start fixing the holes in my ship. The holes are getting fixed, so I'm very happy about that. Yay! But all joking aside, this episode was... It was really good. It was really suspenseful. I love how it keeps on adding to the lore, and like Case alluded to, we'll get to the big ending of what happens, and I'm so excited for the finale. And here's the thing: I thought this was gonna be the finale, but it turns out it's not.
Yeah, this week, apologies for last week. Last week, we had the episode list of the rest of the season, or at least I looked on IMDb, and I only saw this episode. So I was like, okay, they haven't announced more, so this should be the last episode. Then they announced 3 more. A 2-part finale, and the next one, which is called The Descent. Anyway, apologies for that. But Nico, what were your initial thoughts on this episode?
So when we first said what the title of this episode was going to be, I had an entirely different idea as to who was going to get disappeared.
Same.
Yep.
And I had completely forgotten about Hype because he doesn't really do much except race and run his mouth from time to time. But he was now a plot point of this particular episode. He was pissed off that the First Order, as we all predicted, is increasing its presence on the Colossus, and now it's restricting any forms of freedom or personal expression, such as racing, from happening on the Colossus in the name of safety, which Tam keeps defending. She keeps defending the sacrifice of freedoms for safety, which we'll get to later on. So Hype... He wants to keep on racing, or at least take his racer out for some flying just to get it out of his system. And the First Order is like, nope, Hype has words. And those words get him thrown into a crate along with Aunt Z and 2 other people.
Yeah, Hype gets thrown in there along with Aunt Z and the little creature that also is a pod racer in the Phantom Menace. I still don't know the exact species. They also appear in the Clone Wars, but yeah, they ran their mouth. Exactly. And there's another one that I don't know, but they all ran their mouth against the First Order, and that got them locked up, which is essentially leads Kaz and Torra to rescue them, along with CB-23. And yeah, that really had me on the edge of my seat. Kaz and Torra on their adventure, it also had me like, are we going to get something more? Unfortunately, we didn't, and I thought that was a little bit of a missed opportunity. You could have that little moment where or either Kaz or Torra is almost falling, and the other one pulls him, and it's like, oh wait, what happened here? Okay, and we continue, and it's this little quick moment, but it's cute because we know it's something. At least we assume it's something, and I would like it to be something, you know. So little missed opportunity there, but yeah, I was on the edge of my seat throughout the entire episode, mostly because it had those moments that I didn't know what to expect, and especially if we get to the ending, of course. But yeah, throughout the episode, there are just moments that, it doesn't do the thing that you expect them to do, and they actually have a pretty good plan to make sure that the ones who are captured get off the system. We get a mention of Takodana, I don't know how that'll get into play, but considering that we're very close to Force Awakens, that is very cool, and I'm looking forward to what could happen there.
Let's be real, though. Maz Kanata, she's probably like the glue that holds every character from every era of Star Wars together. Because she's been alive for, 1,000 years? So
she's been running this watering hole for 1,000 years.
So she's seen a lot of faces that we've been introduced to, and we probably have yet to be introduced to, both past and maybe future.
Touché.
Yeah.
To double down on your little moments there of leading up to the big rescue at the end, like, I'm also very happy that they actually put the characters in real peril, and for a second, like, you realize that, like, CB-23 is kind of the unsung hero of that particular sequence, because she saves Kaz when he starts to fall because she shoots out the cable and he catches it. And it's like, thank you.
And by the way, it's because of those moments of peril that I think that's why we didn't get any of the moments of teasing shipping, because of the fact that, like, we forget how young these two characters actually are.
That's
so
fair.
like when they're
16.
But even so, when they're presented with danger, they're going to be focused on trying to stay alive more than they are about a potential just like sneaking a kiss here and there. So I feel like that just shows
as they should, as they absolutely should. It's just
as they should. It's just,
but it's just
No, but look, it's more like it's an accidental moment, which it's happened. I've seen it countless times in TV and TV and movies, both of them, where there's this little moment when someone pulls the other and it goes a little bit too far, and they lie on top of each other, and it's like the moment of
hey-o.
It's like it's a very little moment, and it's very realistic in the situation, and it could actually take away a little bit from the tension for a second, because I was...
And that's why they didn't do it.
That's why they didn't do it, thank God.
But I was holding my breath the entire time, and maybe to have that levity might have been a nice thing. That's just my personal opinion. It was very cool, the moment, at least for me, when we see Captain Doza with Yeager. That was a huge moment. That I was like, wow, that is actually something. And the fact that they said that they were trying to contact the Resistance to help him, I was like, okay, this is really heating up. And considering that this is during The Force Awakens, I cannot wait to see how that ties into each other. How the Resistance might be able to help him or might not, because of what happens in the movies.
Can I present a question?
Yo.
Do Captain Doza and Yeager know of each other's histories in the Galactic Civil War? Like, do they know that they fought on opposing sides during that time?
Okay, to be fair, they are extremely secretive characters so far. They have only really given us hints to what they have been, but we don't know the full picture. But the fact that they are working together... I'm not sure. I really am not sure.
I'm not sure either, but I think I'm actually going to lean towards the side of they actually do both know each other, and it's because of that, like, maybe they put their differences aside, essentially way ahead of time, because Yeager's a really good mechanic, and Captain Doza needs people like Yeager on the Colossus, and he's like, you know what, look, I know your history, but I also need someone who's really good at what they do. Come work for me. So I get the feeling their relationship is kind of like that, if that makes sense.
That's a fair point. It's just that, both of these characters have been quite secretive so far throughout the show, and we have gotten a little bit more on occasions. So I cannot wait to see more of that, of their relation, because I didn't even know it was a thing until this episode. I mean, it was kind of hinted at, but now the actual confirmation of that they're working together and they really want to get rid of the First Order with the Resistance, that was a huge thing. And then, of course, we get to the big ending, which sets up, possibly the next 3 episodes, where all our heroes, Kaz comes back after the rescue. Torra is not there. strangely enough, but sure. But Kaz comes back with CB-23, and all our heroes are surrounded by stormtroopers with Pyre there, and they're going to be captured. Guys, Nico, you saw this episode first, and I already saw you message us like, okay, that ending was nothing what I expected. So, your thoughts on that ending?
Yeah, I did not think we were going to see stormtroopers coming to arrest everybody at the end of this episode. That was right out of left field. But in hindsight, the way that Tam was looking at Kaz as he was walking out of that secret meeting with Yeager and Doza, I can't help but wonder, was she the one that
turned them in?
Yeah. So, like
damn you!
I was about to say, I could throttle Tam right now. I could just throttle her neck and strangle her, because I'm sorry, you don't. You why? Why would you rat everyone out like that, Tam? They're going to kill you. Not just everyone else. You're dead too.
Let's just clarify. We don't actually know if she placed out that call.
No, we don't know. But
we don't know it. But come on.
There have been such strong hints throughout this episode. There are several moments throughout this episode that she is still defending the First Order, despite her knowing more about how bad the First Order actually is. And she has been defending it way too hard, and I'm just like, yeah, she probably did it. And
because I just thought of something. Cause I literally just thought of something right this moment.
Yo.
So we get another moment in this episode from Niku where he's just like giving us some comedy, and he's like, "Is there going to be food at this gathering? I love food, food." And you know, I can't help but wonder now. Is Niku maybe playing us all for a fool? Could he have been the one who put out the call? And we just haven't seen it because he's been the comedy guy so far that we're being thrown off a scent.
Nico, I appreciate your theory, but that's like Darth Jar Jar level of potentially crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's plausible. It's plausible.
But
I just don't.
No.
Please don't, because I like Niku, and
we all like Niku.
I've been liking Tam less and less as the show has gone on.
Unfortunately, yes. No, but with Niku is the comedic sidekick, and he's always been that. And the moment that they got a little bit more into his character, it was not the best. But it doesn't really seem like he is the one who is the criminal mastermind, because that's just, in my opinion, a stupid theory. It's very obvious that Tam has a hand in this, at least a hand. I'm not sure to what extent, but I think
an invisible hand to make a pun.
Now that's a reference. Well done.
Well done.
No, but, it's definitely Tam. And yes, I've been liking her less and less because she keeps defending the First Order. And I've been, that's the one thing that I've been craving. Like that moment that Tam finally sees what the First Order is. But I think that we're building up to that at the end of the season where all things combine and Tam sees maybe the destruction of Hosnian Prime. I don't know.
But here's what's going to... Actually, to be honest, at this point... Here's what I want them to do with her. I want her to go full heel.
I could see that
at this point. Like, if it actually turned out, excuse me, if it actually turned out that she was the one who turned everybody in, then I'm sorry. Make her go full dark side. In my opinion, because that would fit her character with how she has been building up so far.
And to back that up, like, if she wasn't willing to fight for the races to continue, like, she had the dream of wanting to be a racer, just like a lot of other people on that platform. And for her to just be like, okay, it is what it is, when the First Order was like, no more races. It's a security measure. And for her to just be so okay with it, I feel like she's too far gone. And her beliefs have been challenged, and she keeps doubling down on it as opposed to seeing the light. So I see where Chris is coming from, and I think it's very likely that could happen, that she could go full heel.
Jeez, you guys are breaking my heart. I used to love her at the beginning of the season, and the more we got from her at the beginning of the season, that was good. The more we're getting now, it's not good, and it's going down a path I can't follow.
Well, yes, and here's the thing: like, I don't want her to go to the dark side because I like her, but it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, how do you, like, for God's sakes, they wear stormtrooper armor. That's like instant evil.
Yeah, well, she still has the beliefs that while the First Order might be doubling down security and might seem bad, she still thinks it's. We'll see. I think we'll just see next week.
So, well, listen. There's history to this though in Star Wars canon, because as I mentioned a few weeks ago, Inferno Squad, Iden Versio and another member of the squad, they realized, oh crap, the Empire's bad. We should get the hell out of here. Meanwhile, two other members of Inferno Squad, they doubled down on the Empire's tactics, and they became First Order officers in the future. Oh, so, or at least one of them did. One of them might have died. And
one died in the book.
One died. Yep, and then the other one became a high-ranking officer. And actually, also to double back to a previous episode of this show, I remember. Sorry guys, I'm still getting over a cold. So, but I remember I was predicting that Ruckland was going to be doing what Tam is doing. And, well,
but we just haven't seen enough of Ruckland.
Exactly. So,
Jace Ruckland.
Yeah. So, I mean, now Tam is the one who's filling that role, and I don't know how to feel about it. I'm so conflicted.
Well, I think we'll just have to wait and see for the next episodes, where it's all going to get resolved, I hope, because really, one episode next week, then a 2-part finale the week after. That's season 1. I know that I, for one, cannot wait for it all. And yeah, I think that the direction of the last couple of episodes has been really good. That's really all I think I have to say in terms of last words. So, Nico, any last words about the episode?
Can one of you look up what the title of next week's episode is?
The Descent.
The Descent. So my thought on that is maybe it means like we're descending into the inner workings of the First Order. Like we're going to see what went on with the officers there. Like, did they have an area in the Colossus where they would like do the reprogrammings and whatnot, or do they take the people to Starkiller Base, and do we get to see more of like what went on? Because like as far as we know, all we know from what went on in Starkiller Base was that Finn would clean the hallways from time to time. Apparently the trash compactors are easily escapable if you're Captain Phasma.
They've always been like that.
This is true.
The one time that we actually see a trash compactor in Star Wars, they escape from it.
Yes, but we don't really know like what else went on there outside of what we saw in The Force Awakens. So
it's
maybe
a planet. We've only seen a glimpse of it. So yeah,
you're right. Maybe that's what we'll get to see next week. Maybe we'll get because now they're going to jail, and we're going to see what First Order jail looks like.
We
will. Chris, your final thoughts.
So never mind the fact that next week's episode is named after my current favorite horror movie of all time, but Nico brought up a great point where we're finally going to actually like get a close personal deep dive into Starkiller Base.
Maybe.
And I'm so excited because this is something that I don't know if you guys are aware of, but a certain recently Oscar-nominated actor does have a voice credit in this show. But so here's the question. Is he going to actually make his official debut in Resistance next week or the week after? And of course, I'm referring to Mr. Adam Driver.
Ooh, that's exciting stuff.
That's very exciting stuff because come on. I'm a little lacking in the Kylo Ren department ever since Last Jedi. So I need some Kylo, and if this is the place where I get him, oh yeah, I'm
I
ready.
think we all need some Kylo, because honestly, he's, in my opinion, by far the best character of the new trilogy. Anyway, with all that said, I think we're excited for the next episodes, and we'll see what next week brings. So let's just go into the plugs. I will first say, please like the video, comment on anything that you saw in the episode that you thought we were right on or we were wrong on. Just let us know in the comments and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And Chris, where can people find you online?
You guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Stardust, and Letterboxd at Skywalker Dome. And you guys can follow this very channel on Twitter and Instagram at D2H Channel. Please like our Facebook page and stay tuned for this week on the Who Cares Anyway podcast, which I host. We will be doing a Oscars recap, hashtag controversy, and our recap of 2018 in film, and some really exciting Schmodown reactions. I can't wait.
Oh, yes, there are some Schmodown reactions for sure. Anyway, Nico, your plugs.
I didn't get to watch the Oscars because my power was out all night.
Oof, I'm sorry.
Damn. But you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Nico Suave Regoli. That's NicoSuaveRegoli. You can find me right here on Dedicated to Art and all the places Chris just said. You can find me over on Combat Wrestling Network. That's the name of the YouTube channel, Facebook group. I'm working on a Twitter. It's just been a matter of time. Haven't gotten to it yet. But yeah, we host wrestling trivia matches, and you should check it out if you're a wrestling fan. Also, Multiplex Entertainment, that's the name of the Facebook group, and the YouTube channel, the Twitter is at Multiplex TV. The Instagram is Multiplex Entertainment Network. The TeePublic is just Multiplex. Buy our awesome shirts. Am I forgetting anything?
I think not. I can't think of anything. It's just you're used to your extremely long plugs with all the thumb stuff, but that's gone now. So I'll just go into my plugs, where you can find me doing a lot of Knights of the Old Republic and Google SketchUp, because that's my life these days. Other than that, you can find me, Kees Cornelissen, on Facebook and Letterboxd, Dutch Movie Guy on Twitter, and competing in various matches over at Multiplex Entertainment. I think that's about it. So with that, I will just say we'll see you next week. Viva la Resistance.
And may the force be with you always.
Wait for it. Yeah!
Oh, that was perfect. That was
Awesome.
perfect.